Hello, everyone. This is Edmond here, Executive Director of the Apartment Association of California's Southern Cities. Today, we need to talk about some new legislation moving through Sacramento that will have a major impact on housing providers should it pass, property managers, and really the entire rental housing market. So here's what you need to know. AB 246. This is the Social Security Protection Act. This bill says that if the government ever delays or interrupts Social Security payments, tenants who rely on those benefits could stop paying rent, and housing providers would be legally blocked from moving forward with eviction. In other words, if Social Security checks stop, rent checks stop. But housing providers are still expected to pay mortgages, taxes, insurance, utilities, maintenance, and all the costs of keeping housing running. This isn't a temporary pause, it's just shifting the entire financial risk into housing providers with no safety net in sight. Another beauty is SB 436. Currently, if rent isn't paid, housing providers can issue the standard 3-day pay or quit notice. This bill would entirely extend that timeline to 14 days. And it doesn't stop there. Even if you're already started an eviction process, the tenant could bring rent at a time at the very last minute, even up to lockout, and the process would be halted. On top of that, if tenant shows proof they applied for rental assistance, courts would be required to delay the case for another 15 court days. That's 3 more weeks of uncertainty and costs falling squarely on the shoulders of all housing providers. Now, lawmakers will say these bills are to protect renters, but here's the bigger picture. They transfer the entire financial risk onto housing providers. They create more ways for rent to be delayed and sometimes, and let's be honest, indefinitely. And they discourage investment in housing, which ultimately hurts affordability and availability for everyone. When housing providers can't count on rent being paid, they can't maintain buildings, they can't pay staff, they can't plan for the future. And this instability doesn't just affect owners of these rental properties, it affects tenants too. So that's what's moving now in Sacramento. AB 246 and SB 436. Both would make it harder for housing providers to operate responsibly and keep housing available. We'll continue to oppose these bills, monitor these bills, and closely keep you informed as they go through the process. In the meantime, stay engaged, stay connected. Let's make sure Sacramento hears directly from the very people, housing providers, and our communities as a whole. We here, Edmond, and the Apartment Association of California Cities will continue to fight for housing providers, members and non-members alike. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share, update with fellow housing providers, and subscribe for more updates on California housing policies.